My spouse demanded a separation right in our home. You can't even pay for an attorney to stand against me. I sighed and answered quietly, "You're right." But when she handed me those official papers in court, her smile vanished the moment the state's most intimidating, costly divorce lawyer sat down next to me. He glanced at her and said calmly, "He doesn't have to afford me. I'm his elder brother." My wife, Clara, told me last Wednesday that she wanted a divorce. There was no sorrow in her eyes, no hesitation in her voice. It was like she was announcing a victory. We were in the living room of the house we had spent nearly a decade turning into a home. She spoke to me with the cold precision of a corporate executive cutting ties. "It's over, Daniel," she said, placing a folder on the coffee table. "I've already spoken to an attorney. These are my conditions." I didn't open the folder. I didn't need to. She was eager to list her demands herself. She wanted the house. The very house my grandfather had helped me buy with a down payment. She wanted 70% of our savings. She wanted alimony for a minimum of 5 years. This wasn't a negotiation. It was surrender. When she was done, she leaned back with a smug little smirk. "And I don't want this dragged into a battle, Daniel," she added, her voice dripping with condescending pity. "Let's be honest. You're a woodworking teacher at a local high school. Sure, you make a decent living, but you'll never afford a real lawyer. My attorney will drown you in fees before you even walk into a courtroom. Just accept the terms and walk away." I sat there staring at the woman I had built my life with and felt this chilling emptiness inside me. She didn't just want to leave me. She wanted to destroy me. She thought my biggest weakness was that I couldn't fight back. I let the silence stretch for a long moment. Then, finally, I looked at her and whispered the words she wanted to hear. "You're right." Her face lit up instantly. Relief. Victory. She thought she had won. She stood, smoothed her skirt, and said, "Good. I'm glad you're being practical. The official papers will arrive next week." And then she walked out. Here's what Clara didn't know. Yes, she knew I was a simple man of modest means. Yes, she knew I didn't have tens of thousands of dollars for legal wars. Yes, she also knew I had a brother, my older brother, Victor. What she was counting on, though, was the fact that Victor and I hadn't spoken in years. Victor wasn't a teacher. Victor was a predator in the courtroom. Without exaggeration, he was the most feared and expensive divorce lawyer in the entire state. And as far as she believed, he was gone from my life forever. She didn't know the truth. For 3 days after her declaration, I was in a dark, suffocating place. She was right, I couldn't fight her, not alone. But on the 4th day, I swallowed every ounce of pride that had kept me estranged from my brother for 5 years. My hand trembled as I dialed his private number. "Hello," a deep familiar voice finally answered. "Victor," I whispered. "It's Daniel." There was a long silence. Finally, he said softly, "Danny, what happened?" It all spilled out. Clara's demands. Her cruelty. Her taunt. "You can't afford a lawyer to fight me." Another silence. This time his voice came back different. Stronger. Protective. She said, "What?" he asked, dangerously quiet. I repeated it. He exhaled slowly. Then, when and where's the first hearing? Next Tuesday. Downtown courthouse. I'll clear my schedule. Don't sign a thing. Don't speak to her. Just show up. The morning of the hearing, rain poured like the sky itself was grieving. I walked into that sterile courtroom in my only suit, the one I'd worn to weddings and funerals. It felt like both. Clara was already there. Dressed sharp. Hair flawless. Confident. Her lawyer sat beside her, smirking. They laughed softly together as if they had already won. She looked at me, her smile full of pity. She expected defeat. Then, the heavy doors at the back slammed open. Every head turned. Victor strode down the aisle, wearing a suit sharp as steel, his leather briefcase swinging like a weapon. Whispers rippled through the courtroom. Everyone knew him. He reached me, put a hand on my shoulder, and whispered, "Sorry I'm late, little brother. Traffic." Then, straightening, he announced, "Victor Harrington, Your Honor. Representing the defendant, Mr. Daniel Hayes." The judge's eyebrows rose. She knew the name. Clara's face drained of all color. Her lawyer's smirk crumbled into sheer terror. Victor looked right at her. Cold. Predatory. Then he delivered the line that shattered her world. "He doesn't need to afford me. I'm his brother." From that moment, the war was over before it began. Victor tore apart her case, exposed her lies, and unearthed her affair with her lover, David, a smug real estate developer. What Clara thought was a sure victory turned into humiliation. She lost the house. She lost the money. She lost her reputation. And worst of all, David abandoned her the moment her empire collapsed. She had tried to strip me of everything. Instead, she was left with nothing. But the real ending wasn't about Clara. It was about Victor. After the dust settled, he called me one weekend. "Meet me at the old house," he said. We sat on the porch of our childhood home, talking about Dad's awful fishing trips, Mom's pies, and our younger days. Finally, he looked at me and said, "I was wrong, Danny. I forgot what this place really meant." I was wrong too, I admitted. We didn't sell the house. We rebuilt it, together. Week by week, paintbrush in hand, repairing what we thought was lost. Not just the house, but our bond as brothers. Clara thought she isolated me. She thought she'd left me powerless. But in the end, her greed reunited me with my brother. She left me with nothing. And yet, today, I stand with everything that matters.